everyone, it's Nadia from Yarn Utopia. Today we are making this cute little bunch of grapes. This is such a simple project and I love it so much. I'll get into the supplies we're going to need and then we'll get right into making this cute little piece. So big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn today. We are using Red Heart Super Saver. So the three colors I'm using, this Patty Green for the leaf, and then for the strand here, back here I have this warm brown for the vine, and then the grapes themselves are dark orchid. Okay, so those are the three colors I'm using. You can use any color for the grapes, purple, light purple, dark purple, or they have grapes that are green. I know there's grapes that are red, so you can choose whatever color you want for your grapes. And then you're just going to need a green and a brown for your vine and leaf. And we are going to be crocheting this with an F-sized crochet hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. This crochet hook is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. It is hand carved and ergonomic. I love these crochet hooks so much. I rave about them in all of my crochet videos and my crochet tutorials because they are so wonderful to use and they're just wonderful to fit in the palm of my hand. They make them for right-handed hooks and left-handed hooks, and there's international shipping available. You're also, and that link is in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube, so make sure to check out the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. You're going to need a yarn needle and a scissors as well to cut your yarn, sew things together, and sew in your ends. And then I have a little bit of polyfill here because we are going to need some polyfill to stuff these grapes. So in this tutorial I just show you how to make one grape, and you can make as many grapes as you want, and then we attach everything on camera as well so you can see how to attach all your pieces. Big thank you goes out to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn today for this project. Big thank you to my dad behind my shoulder here who's filming and editing this whole tutorial for everybody to see, and big thank you to you for watching. Hit the subscribe button and let's get started. Alright, we're going to start off by making the grapes, and I have this purple colored yarn. You can use purple or green or whatever color grapes are. So we're going to put the short end over the long end, then fold this down and then pull your long end through and pull tight, and there's your slip knot. You can insert your hook and we can begin. To start off we are going to chain 2. Now if you didn't want to start with a slip knot, you could start with a magic ring and you can chain 1 and then go on to this round 1 with me for if you're doing a magic ring. But I'm going to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and in that second chain from the hook right here we're going to put 6 single crochets. So go in to that chain right there, yarn over and pull through the chain, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a single crochet. So we're going to make 6 of those in that spot. So go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 2, go back in, here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I'm going to actually work in continuous rounds, and let me find a stitch marker real quick. You can grab a legit stitch marker, or if you have just an extra piece of yarn, you can just stick a piece of yarn, which is what I'm going to do. So you can just stick a piece of yarn in this spot right here to mark your rounds if you need to. And what we're going to do now is go into the first stitch. So if you need to count back 6 stitches and go into the very first single crochet stitch right here, front and back loop there. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets into each stitch around for round 2. So go into this first stitch here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 1, go back into the same stitch and make another single crochet. And there's 2. So we're going to do that in each stitch around. So hop to this next stitch here and put 2 single crochets in there. 1 and 2. And again in the next stitch here. And in each stitch around. So at the end of round 2, you'll have 12 single crochets. So I'm going to do that here, and you can just continue watching because I just have these 2 more stitches left. 2 in this last one. So if you need to count back, you can count back 12 stitches, and we can go on to round 3. So move up your stitch marker here And rounds 3, 4, and 5. So the next 3 rounds, we're just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So there's just 1 single crochet. So round 3 will have 12 stitches, round 4 will have 12 stitches, and round 5 will have 12 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to do that rounds 3, 4, and 5, just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and then I'll come back and we'll go on to round 6. Alright, this is what your piece should look like at this point. I just did rounds 3, 4, and 5, and as you can see, it's bowling up. So now grapes are super small, so we're just going to do one more round here, and we are going to decrease at this point. So we can move our stitch marker up. Okay. And we are going to single crochet 2 together. So that's a single crochet decrease. So let's go into this first stitch right here. Okay, yarn over, pull through, go directly into the next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook. Okay, that's a single crochet 2 together because we did those 2 into 1 stitch. And we're going to do that for each of the stitches around. So single crochet these next 2 stitches together. So go in this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops. And there's our second one. We'll have 6 of these by the time we finish this round. So go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And I just have to do 3 more of these. You can just continue watching. It is going to get very tight, so you want to make sure you want to stretch this out a little bit and maneuver around these stitches because it's going to get really tight. And this is really small since we are only using an F hook, so it's going to be really small, miniature. But this is our last stitch here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. So I'm going to pull this a little further, remove my hook. I'm going to remove my stitch marker at this point. And I'm going to stuff in, if you have a straggler strand, you can stuff it to the inside, oopsie, of your grape. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of stuffing and stuff this little grape with a little bit of stuffing. Okay, not too much. Don't stuff it over, or don't overstuff it so you see your polyfill through your stitches. So just get that in there. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do is single crochet the first and 4th stitches together. So let me see here. This next stitch is the first stitch right there. And then you can, if you count your stitches around, this is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th one is right across the way right here. So we're just going to go into that stitch right across the way, yarn over, pull through everything, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, cut this yarn, you can cut it short, pull that all the way through, pull it tight, and then you can either, if you wanted to cut that long, you can use it for sewing, or what I'm going to do is hide it on the inside. So grab my hook, going into the grape, and then grabbing this strand here and pulling it through to hide that, and cut any extra, stretch it out, make it look like a grape all the way around. Well, that looks really good. All right, so now all I need you to do is make a bunch of these. I have, I think, 10 total here. Let me count these up. Oh no, I have 9. So I have 9 of these, okay? So you want to make a bunch of them. And what we're going to do is make a vine, and then, like a branch almost, and then we are going to attach all these to the branch next. Alright, so we're going to make the branch next. It's super simple. What we're going to do is start off with a slip knot. I have this like warm brown color, so you already know how to make a slip knot. So I'm just going to make a slip knot, insert my hook, and we can start. So we're going to start off by chaining 18. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now you can chain more or less if you want to, and you can just watch what I'm doing and then make yours bigger or smaller if you want. So what we're going to do is single crochet into the second chain from the hook and in the next 7 chains. So the loop on the hook doesn't count as a chain, so count 1 and 2. This is the second chain, and what I like to do is turn my chain toward me like this and work in these back ridges of my chain here. So go into the second chain right there, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. So that was our first stitch here. We're going to do a single crochet in the next 7 chains as well. So in this next one is 1. This next one is 2. Here's 3. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you should have 8 single crochets total so far, and we have this much left here. So what we're going to do now is chain 6. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and back down to here. So second chain from the hook is right here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, next chain, single crocheting all the way down this chain. Alright, now once you get back to this point here, we are going to crochet the rest of these chains that are on our main foundation chain here. So go back down to this chain right here and single crochet, and then single crochet in the rest of the chains on this row. So there should be, let's see here, 1, 2, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There should be 9 chains total. Okay. And I'm almost finished. You can just continue watching. Then once we fasten this off, we'll be able to attach everything, and that's going to kind of be a little bit of a tricky part because the grapes are going to be a bunch of grapes, so it's kind of a random attaching method. So I'll show you how to do that. So once you get back to the beginning here, or to the end, sorry, we're going to chain 1. You can cut your yarn, pull this all the way through, and then pull tight. And we'll sew in those ends in a minute. So this is the piece you have, okay? And you've got your bunch of grapes, however many you made. I have 9, you can make more or less. And we are going to attach these from the top and to each other all down this piece here. Kind of on a random, like this, but it's also going to be, because they are so big, they're going to wrap around this branch, and it's going to be all the way around. So I'm going to grab my yarn needle, and I'm going to attach with purple yarn. You can attach with brown yarn or purple yarn, does not matter. And the first things first, I'm going to actually sew in these ends here. So let me grab my yarn needle here. I just yarned my needle with one of these strands. There we go. And then we're going to go underneath these stitches and pull. Stretch it out and do the same thing to this other piece. Okay. Then we can sew on the grapes, and I'll be right back to show you how to do that. Alright, so I was actually off camera playing around with this piece here, and yours should look like this right now, but what I think is I'm actually going to switch this, turn it this way so that this short end is at the top, and that will be the top of the vine, and then they can all come off this one and this one, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of lay this out, and so nothing will be attached to this piece here, okay? And everything will be attached to this piece and this piece. And I'm gonna kind of just lay it out, kind of, you can kind of just be random with it. Okay, something like that. And I could even put one on top. And then, I know the angle of the camera right now, you can't really see it very well, but this actually looks really good. So I might just put it together somewhat like that, and that way you'll see the vine in between the stitches, but also this piece will be free to hold it up like a grape on a vine, grape bunch on a vine. So I have yarned my needle with purple yarn, okay, and I'm going to go from the back of this piece, oopsie, right here. I'm going to start actually in the center top right here, and all we have to do is just sew one of the ends, either this end or this end, does not matter because grapes don't matter. I'm just going to go in once into the grape and then back in to the vine, and that one's attached. Now we're going to use this long strand and attach the rest. So go on to this next one, and you can attach it over here. So we're going to go out this piece and then into the grape, and then you can be totally random with it, okay? And then back into the vine. Okay, then go out the piece, oops, on this side, how cool, because they're so random, you know, grapes, they kind of have a mind of their own. Just go underneath once, go back into the vine, and pull. Okay, and I'm just going to do that with the rest of these. I'm going to come back through and do this side as well, so that when all of my grapes are attached, I'll show you how to fasten off. Alright, so I just sewed on a bunch of these just kind of randomly. I ended up tacking through using this yarn these three at the bottom together because they were like super separate and it just looked kind of weird and wonky. And you can, you know, attach your grapes how you want them to look, make them look like a bunch. But that's what I have so far. So now I'm going to be ready to fasten this part off. So what we're going to do is just weave this through to the beginning where we had our yarn starting right here. Okay, and then we're just going to take these two strands and tie them in a knot in the back here. Okay, and you can tie it twice or 3 times. Okay, kind of stretch it out. Okay, that looks good. Make sure it looks good, and then you can cut this short. And then we can sew in these ends into our piece. And then the last thing I want to do, I want to crochet a leaf. You don't have to do a leaf, but I felt like adding a leaf would give it a little bit extra detail, and you can definitely tell it's a bunch of grapes when you add the leaf. So it's such a super simple piece. There, just sewed that into one of the grapes and cut that short. So there is the bunch of grapes, but I want to add just a green leaf at the top here. You can add 1 or 2 leaves, but I grabbed this yarn. This is the Patty Green Red Heart Super Saver yarn. So I'm just going to grab this, I'm going to set everything aside and grab my crochet hook, and the leaf is super simple here. I'll show you how to do it right now. We're going to make a slip knot starting out, and we are going to start off by chaining 7. So yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. So right here is the second chain. We're going to go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. That's a slip stitch. We're going to single crochet into the next, so go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We're going to half double crochet into the next, so yarn over, go into the next chain here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a half double crochet. Then in the next chain we are going to double crochet. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. In the next chain we're going to half double crochet, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and in this last chain we're going to single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, just like that. And if you want to, you can continue with me. If you want to just fasten off and just have this be the leaf, that's a cute little leaf, but I'm going to make mine a little bigger. So I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, single crochet back into the same spot right here, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And you can see I turned this around like this because we're going to work along this edge here, the foundation chain on the opposite side. So we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, which is right here. Okay, you can stretch this apart to see. This one is the first one where we single crocheted, chain 2, and single crocheted in. This next one right here is where we're going to half double crochet. So yarn over, go into this next one, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. The next one is a double crochet, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. The next one's a half double crochet. The next one is a single crochet. And then the last one is just a slip stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. Then chain 1 and cut your yarn. And actually I'm going to cut long for sewing. I'm going to sew this down. So pull that all the way through, stretch this out, pull that tight. Okay. And I got to grab my yarn needle now, sew in this end right here. Just gonna yarn my needle with that, go underneath some of these stitches and sew this underneath to the other side, just like this. Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to grab our piece here and we're going to attach this to the top of our piece up here. So I'm going to go in with this strand that I'm already attached to. Okay, then I'm going to go in with this long strand that I cut. Okay, I'm going to position this where I want it. Maybe go in and out a few more times just to sew this in. Okay, that looks good. And then in the back here we want to tie these 2 strands in a knot and then sew these in just like we did with the purple strand. So I'm just gonna, without messing this up too much, there we go, and then cut this short. Then grab our yarn needle, yarn our needle with these 2 strands, and sew this end in. Now you want to sew this into the leaf because you want to be sure that it's completely hidden. So just go underneath the stitches of the leaf, just like that, and pull. And then cut the extra, and then position this how you want. Oh my goodness, how awesome is that? That looks really good. And there it is, your bunch of grapes. How fabulous. I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this super simple project. That was so much fun. You can make a bunch of these and use them for kids' food or like in the grocery store if you want like play food. This is just such a fun project. So thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this. If you make these, be sure to share on the Facebook page for Yarn Utopia by Nadia Fouad, or on Instagram, #YarnUtopia, so I can see your fabulous work. Alright, thanks to my dad back there for filming, thanks to Red Heart Yarns for providing this yarn for this project, and big thank you to you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and until next time, happy hooking!